Good morning, hopeful family. It's me, your girl, the lady, Miss B. What you say now? Listen, I'm stopping by right quick just to talk with parents, guardians. You've got to have a conversation with your young people, okay? If you are working with youth, have the conversation with them because a lot of them are having conversations that you have no idea that they're having, okay? It is very important. Even if you don't go into details about it, start the conversation because the conversation is needed. Okay? My theory is, as it relates to sex, then that should be something that is held between two responsible, consenting adults. It is very hard to focus on a relationship and school. Okay? One is going to outweigh the other. And most times, school suffers, the education of our students suffer because they are focused so much on sex. They're focused so much on sexuality. That is something, in my opinion, that just does not need to be happening right now because it's causing a lot of problems. And if we as adults are experiencing issues as it relates to those type of relationships, can't you imagine what the young people are going through? Yeah. So have the conversation with them. Come on. We've got to do it. I know back in our days, at least in my era, growing up, you didn't have those conversations. Okay? Nobody was talking to you about it. In the black culture, as far as in my upbringing, that was a discussion we weren't having. Okay? And it's time out for that. The closest discussion we got to the birds and bees were behave, be good, be mindful. Yes, and this was the bird. No, you've got to have a conversation with your young people, okay? No, we are not trying to encourage them to become sexually active. No, we are not encouraging them to take on a relationship. We're explaining to them why it's not wise to do so at this time. Because you can't. It is so hard to focus on a relationship outside of the relationship that you have with your family. Okay? If it's a safe relationship, respectful relationship that you're having with your family, then that's one thing. If it's a relationship that you're having that is being coerced by something else or some other means, okay, read between the lines, then encourage them, talk to them to see where things are, find out what's happening with them. Okay? Our children are experiencing things that we have no idea. There are conversations that are being had around school campuses. We have no idea. And right now, our children feel that their friends, who are the same age as they are, know more than we know. So they're taking the advice from their friends or their so called friends. Come on, y'all. We got to get with it. We are in the year of 2022, okay? And just about everybody has access to the internet and they can research any information that their heart so desires. So I'm suggesting to you that you have the conversation with them. Okay? It's imperative that we have a conversation with our young people. We got to do it. We need to explain to them that there are much more things that are important, much more important, but that conversation still needs to be had. Explain it to them to the best of your abilities, even if that means you being transparent about your life, because we too, as adults, made mistakes in our younger days. If you think about it, some of us as adults are making mistakes now, and it is something that we all can learn from without us going into gore details about it, but just to let them know that you're not by yourself as it relates to us making mistakes. That's how we learn. Yeah, it's good if we learn from other people's experience. That is great. Okay? But that person has got to be willing to have that conversation. Okay? We've got to do a better job with having that conversation. Okay? I know the scripture declares and reads as far as, fornication, but guess what? Even though it's in the scripture about us waiting, a lot of us didn't wait. A lot of our children is not waiting. Okay? Have the conversation with them. Talk to them about safety. We've got to. It is so important that we have this conversation. Okay? Even if you go about it with using the biblical principles, that's great. That's a wonderful thing. But if we have messed up in our life as young adults, if we messed up in our life as teenagers, explain it to the youth that we're talking to, those young people, our children, the children that we're helping to raise. Explain it to them. Don't let them walk around here thinking that our life is perfect and has been perfect, and now they're struggling and they don't know who to talk to, they don't know where to turn. So now they're having all of these shameful thoughts. Okay? They're now having all of these conversations with themselves because they're going into a depressed state. No. You've got to take out some time and talk with the young people. Pray with them, encourage them, be transparent with them, and be truthful. Okay? No, you don't have to give them play by play of every detail of your life, but you need to let them know that they are not alone and that they too can recover just as you have recovered from your mistakes. They can recover from their mistakes. Okay? They can recover from choices that they've made. Because at the end of the day, if we weren't forced into something, then the choice that we made is just that. It was a choice that we made. Now, this does not apply to those who have been forced into things. But if it was a choice that you made, a conscious decision that you made, then just remember, the choice was up to you. The consequences behind it is not. Okay? And that's what we have to remember. But we've got to encourage our children, encourage the young people, the teenagers, the young adults, encourage them, okay, to go down a different path to try to live a better, healthier lifestyle in every area of their life, including relationships. Okay, let them know. Some of them are watching us, and the relationship that we're in right now is so toxic, it's not even funny. The relationships that we're in right now is so abusive and so demanding and so stressful. We've got to let them know that's not normal. That's just a life that we chose and made it our normal. Okay? But we've got to do better. We've got to do better. All right? Let them know. Yes. No, I may not all have it all together. No, I made plenty of mistakes. I did. But guess what? I learned from those mistakes. And they too can learn from those mistakes. But it starts with us sharing, it starts with us being transparent. Enough of this having all of the secrets, and our children or the young people around us are suffering because we chose not to share any information with them, because we chose to just let them figure it out on their own. So they're going to their friend to figure it out. Okay? And if you are advising them, give them wise counsel. Make sure that you're giving them wise counsel. Not that all you can handle it kind of stuff. No. Not that that ain't nothing to cry about. For them it is. Okay? For them it is. For them it is a big deal. It may seem simple to you, but at their age, it's not simple to them. Okay? So don't make them feel like what it is that they're going through is minute. Don't make them feel like it's just so simple and so small that it shouldn't be stressing them out. There's no such thing. Okay? Because if you think back to when you were their age, you went through some stuff. You experienced some stuff. Okay? And that's what we've got to remember. We've got to do a better job at it. All right? It's time out, y'all. We've got to be open, honest, transparent. We've got to be truthful. We've got to do it because our children are suffering. The young children are suffering. The young adults are suffering. Why? Because they are longing for a relationship and they can't focus on anything else. We're pressuring them because we say stuff like, oh, you're going to be an old maid. No, stop telling them that. Whenever they get ready, whenever the time comes for them to go to that part of their life, then they will. But with you pressuring them, when you going to have a baby? No, okay, they just got married, but let them enjoy themselves. Let them enjoy the marriage of learning one another. Stop rushing people into stuff because you don't know what complications they may be dealing with. And all you're doing is making comments and making them feel bad. Stop it. Cut it out. Grow up. You didn't want people to pressure you about stuff when you were younger. So don't you be pressuring people about stuff. Have conversations with them that are real conversations with them. Let them know that there is a better way. Okay? Help them to understand that we all have made choices that we might not have been so proud of. But the key to it all is that you have the conversation. Okay? Let them learn from the knowledge that you have given them of things in a positive manner. Not getting all of this stuff from off of the internet. Okay? Yeah, the internet is good. It is. However, the internet should not be taking our place of teaching what we should be teaching. Okay? In the raising of the children or the helping out in the raising of the children. We've got to do better. Have honest conversations. Okay? Because it doesn't make sense that you have young people around here that don't know things that they should know and the importance behind getting an education. Okay? And it is hard. It's hard to focus on your education and a relationship. It's hard. If it's hard for us as adults, then just imagine how hard and confusing it is for people that are younger than we are. Okay? So just stop. All right? Come on. Think about their lives. We've lived ours to the best of our ability, and we're going to keep living. And we can make changes and we can grow, and all of that is needed because every day we can learn something. The key to it is to apply what you've learned. Okay? The correct knowledge you've gained, applying it in the correct manner so that you can move forward, so that they can move forward, so that you can be an example of what it is to move on, to move ahead, and then they can learn and they'll desire to move on and to move ahead. But it requires us all to start learning the importance of being a responsible adult. Okay? Responsible adult. Yes, like I stated before, growing up, our conversation dealing with the bird and the bees were be good, behave, be quiet, be still. And this was the bird. Be real with the young people. Talk to them. Be open, be transparent, be truthful because it's needed. If you're not advising them correctly, then that means somebody is advising them incorrectly. Okay? So remember, I'm here with you. Passing on some hope is what I do. Until the next time, I'll see you soon. Be encouraged.